everybody,
Hello!
and welcome to our Day 1 guide on Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Day 1, yeah, we've been playing it for a while, haven't we? This co-op game, and we've got loads of tips to help you kill all the Nazis, basically.
So keep watching to see what character upgrades we recommend getting, how to get the most firepower from your weapons, and way more.
Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all our guides and previews and all that good stuff. Let's go!
Let's go. Okay, firstly, here's how the buddy system works. If you didn't know, Wolfenstein has a feature called the buddy system that lets you play through the campaign with a friend, even if they don't have the game, as long as they have a linked Bethesda account. To do it, you'll need the deluxe edition of the game, have them download the free trial version of the game, which you can get from the Bethesda launcher. Once that's done, select host game and then buddy pass. When your friend is online, they should show up on the right, and then you just have to send them an invite. You can also match with random people online, or if that's not your thing, play with an AI partner. Oh, and by the way, you can always buy the cheaper edition at $29.99 if you don't want the buddy system.
Number 2, here's the trick to upgrading your weapons. In Wolfenstein Youngblood, you spend silver coins looted from levels on things like scopes, muzzle attachments, grips, and so on. But you can boost your upgrades further by making sure they're part of the same brand. The 3 brands are Steer, which focuses on damage, Nadel, which focuses on accuracy, or maybe it's Nadel, and Tempo, which focuses on fire rates. So, for instance, on this gun, I bought 3 Steer attachments and got a plus 10% damage boost. You'll want to spec towards Steer on the slower Meteor weapons. When it comes to automatic weapons like the machine pistol, get Tempo upgrades and send that fire rate skyrocketing. And finally, if you want to get even more bang for your buck, use them more to level them up. Getting 60 kills with this one, you can tell I like this weapon, can't you? Gives me plus 12% damage on top of the previous plus 10% damage modifier. That's a lot of damage.
Next up, we are talking about which character you should play as in Wolfenstein Youngblood, which is probably something we should have started with, but hey, we can't go back now. You can pick between BJ Blazkowicz's twin daughters, Jess and Soph, and while they look different, they play exactly the same. You can pick the same armor, weapons, and abilities for both. What does matter is what starting ability you go for. There's a charge attack or a stealthy invisible move that makes you disappear. Going invisible lets you keep out of danger for a bit, but you're always going to get spotted eventually, and when you do, it helps to be able to turn into a freight train at the drop of a hat. Bear in mind that whoever you pick to play as, you can eventually unlock the other sister's signature skill for yourself down the line, but it does cost 5 skill points to do so. So yeah, start with a sprint charge.
Number 4 in our Youngblood guide is enemy barriers. Some of the more powerful enemies come with barriers on top of their health bars, and you have to first get this down to 0 before you can even start doing damage to them. There are 2 types of barrier, which helpfully is displayed here. If you want to take down an enemy's barrier quickly, make sure you're using a weapon with the same icon next to it, because that means it will do way more damage. It definitely pays to have a fully upgraded version of both types of weapon in your arsenal, so you can switch on the fly and do as much damage as possible. As well as that, try focusing on one specific part of an enemy. If you target someone's head, for example, their helmet will pop off and then the subsequent shots you do to the head will deal way more damage. You'll know you've done the job when their head's completely gone.
Number 5. Here are what character skills I recommend grabbing before anything else in Wolfenstein. I really like the sprint crush attack, so upgrade that to use it on heavy enemies. Without it, you just bounce off, and heavies really do get more numerous later on. Don't forget, you can use sprint crush to break open walls. You also definitely want dual wielding. Not only does it deal out the pain to take out enemies more quickly, but it looks cool as hell. And finally, get the upgrade that lets you pick up heavy weapons. It means you can carry these bad boys. Once you've got it, you can target the heavy enemies first and then use their weapon on everyone else to make your job easier. Further along this particular upgrade tree, you'll be able to hold on to heavy weapons rather than chuck them once they've run dry, which is always a useful last resort against the toughest enemies. Screw you, Dogbot, I have a laser.
Number 6, take out commanders first, or in German, Kommandant. Now, it's tempting to immediately go after the weakest foes and work your way up, but this isn't always the best bet, because if someone raises the alarm, more enemies will come as backup, and if there's a commander in the stage, this means the backup will be a much higher level. Probably because the commanders are able to use their connections to call in favors or something, I don't know. so go after the commanders first. That way, if you trip the alarm and everyone starts going nuts, the backup will be rubbish and you can take them out easily before continuing on your idiotic rampage.
7. In Youngblood, like loads of other multiplayer games, you can choose from a range of emotes. Unlike loads of other multiplayer games though, these emotes actually modify your skills, acting as buffs to health, armor, and more. Now the game does tell you this, but it's easy to forget just how useful pep signals are. When you're in the heat of battle, a simple thumbs up is enough to give you and your partner a boost of health that can turn the tide. The one you start with is one of the strongest in the game, giving a massive plus 50 health, so you don't need to get a new one that desperately. But if you do, I recommend the Get Up Pep Signal, which lets you revive from a distance. That costs 3,000 coins, and the Martial Arts Pep Signal, which gives you full health. That costs 2,500 coins. That's quite a bit of cash, so get 1 or 2 weapons upgraded first, but after that, buy a pep signal and start throwing shapes.
Finally, we are talking tagging enemies. If you're playing with an AI partner and want to get a little extra help, use LB on a controller to tag an enemy. And yes, I do play on a controller, it's comfortable, okay? Don't judge me. You can only tag one enemy at a time, but this instructs your AI partner to direct all fire to them. It's a good practice to tag the most dangerous enemy in a level and then team up to take them out quickly, doubling the firepower. Or you can get your partner to fire on a particularly troublesome enemy like a drone or a sniper, freeing up space for you to engage other enemies. Tagging enemies works when you're playing co-op with a human partner too, but obviously they won't automatically start shooting at what you tell them to because, you know, free will and all that.
So that was our guide to Wolfenstein Youngblood. My favourite tip was how to play the game for free.
Oh, Griff, you do love a freebie, don't you?
Oh, who doesn't?
But anyway, we hope these tips helped you get at least a little better at the game. If you found them useful, subscribe to us here at PCGamesN, and we will see you in the next video.
Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.